record to this. There it goes.
And another thing, Michelle, that you may want to do, I use
Hmm.
Fathom in all of my recordings. And so it will automatically record the video and do a transcription and summary of every call.
Hmm.
And so even when people aren't here, after the call's over, you can literally press one button and it sends it the recording and the summary and the transcript to everybody. It's a
Fancy.
free thing. Fathom. Yep.
Fancy. I will look into that. Thank you.
Yep.
Oh my gosh, look at all the people joining. I love
Hello,
it.
everyone.
Hey, Ben. All right, folks. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. I've got a little real cute presentation just with all like the key highlights that were announced. And then I want to turn it over to basically all of us. And I just think it would be really cool if we all just shared any kind of nuggets that we learned while we were there at EXP for those of us who were not there. Yeah, and it just make this a whole mastermind. And feel free to, as I'm going through the slides, like feel free to jump in if there's anything cool that you want to share regarding that. Like, it's not much, so I'm not gonna bore anybody like PowerPoint to death, So, but yeah, let's go ahead and get started. What you guys are gonna learn about me is that I'm not like a stuffy presenter. I'm just, go with the flow, lots of fun and lots of giggles.
Love the energy.
Thanks. All right, folks. So there was lots of big news announced at eXpCon. So lots and lots of big things. So my friend over at EXP Latino had this fancy little presentation. I said, "Can I borrow that?" And she said, "Yes," because we are all really awesome collaborators here at EXP. So let's get started. Okay, so first thing that was announced is our own AI assistant named Mira. I don't know how you guys are pronouncing it, but I'm Latina, so it's Mira. Mira. Like, look, has anybody tried it yet? I haven't, to be honest with you. I have not tried it yet, but I heard it could do lots of really neat things.
I tried it real quick and I asked it about my rev share for the year. And I don't know that it was accurate, unless maybe it doesn't show pending or something, but I didn't check to see if it was accurate. So maybe I'll do that now that a couple more things have cleared.
Yeah, I tried to do it live when they announced it, but the website crashed. So because I think everybody was trying to do it at the moment, so then I just hadn't gotten around to it. But yeah, supposedly you'd be able to, like Ben just said, like ask it anything regarding your business, and it would just be able to tell you as opposed to you like looking through all the little, icons and trying to find it on the website and stuff like that. I imagine they're going to do way more with it than that. Um, I just think that that's how they like broke it out and started with it. So I'm really eager to see what they do with it. But for right now, it's a neat little gadget, I think. So yeah. All right. And then number two thing that was announced is we now have a sports and entertainment division with within EXP Luxury. So that's super cool. I know a lot of folks were just announced as like the founding members. So if you guys are, or if you know of anyone who is within EXP Luxury already, you can slide into sports and entertainment and get that. I guess it's like a designation. Is anybody a member of that or know a little bit more info to share? No? Okay, that's fine too. All right, so that happened. And then this is really exciting, guys. So Slack, if you haven't heard, Slack is going away eventually. Yeah, I know. We are all so excited that Slack is going away. We hate Slack. But yeah, so apparently Glenn himself created EXP Hub, which basically looks almost exactly like Workplace. So it's going to replace Slack eventually. I don't know what that means per se for, hold on, let me admit some folks. Admit. Okay, I don't know what exactly that means for our group yet. Because they haven't officially moved everyone out of Slack and into Hub. But if you guys have not gotten in there yet or haven't heard about it, go in there, create your profile. It looks, like I said, almost exactly like Workplace/Facebook. I imagine that pretty much everything is going to go back to the way it once was, pre-Slack. So maybe eventually we'll end up having part of our community. Well, the main EXP location for our community be in there too. Who knows? I don't know. So yeah. the hub. Has anybody tried it or has anybody not gone in there yet? Who's not gone in there?
I am Anisha. Yes, I've been in there. I think I was in there this weekend and I like it.
Nice. Yeah, I've messed around with it in there too, and I'm just so glad it's not Slack. So Slack is like, I hate it less than I did when I first got it. But boy, was that a learning curve for me. And I'm sure for all of us too, like we're just so busy and it's like, God, I gotta learn this whole new complicated like thing with all the little
My
hashes and
my only my only concern about it, and maybe they can address it or whatever, or figure out a way to just leave Slack and integrate it, is you do have like a messaging feature, but that's way different than chat. And
Mm,
um, it's more like an email system than it is like Workplace had Messenger, Slack, obviously. The reason why most people don't like it is because it's a chat application and communication application and not a community
mhm,
application like they tried to make it. But we do need something where we can talk in real time that's official. I really don't think that text or hopping on people's personal social DM systems is really the answer. So hopefully there's some sort of integration. Maybe there's an API where they can incorporate Slack into it and use it for what it's actually designed for. Um, so that would be my only shortcoming. The other thing is they're a little slow to approve groups. So like,
mm,
I don't know if there's any mentors in here as well, or like, we're in the Milnet group. We need them to approve those groups quickly so that we can start collaborating like we were doing in Workplace. So like I wanted to create, not I wouldn't call it an organization in the sense that the way they use it, I don't have thousands of people, but I kind of wanted to create a group where it's basically that are in my world, my
mhm.
mentees, my rev share up and down, um, and then agents I like, things like that. Many of you, but they're really slow to create that. And Glenn has gotten in there to address that, saying that they're intentionally being slow with it because they want to control the number of groups. Well, I think that's the wrong strategy because I think that there's no cost for however many number of groups, and the ones that aren't active will fall by the wayside, and the ones that are active will rise up. So I don't think we need to have some big important topic to create a group. I think that they need to focus more on easy collaboration than having like a what he basically was trying to avoid clutter and chaos, which I get, but nobody's forcing anybody to go into or even see these groups. We need a they created kind of an interesting piece of software, but it's not super collaborative yet.
So
Gotcha.
I think the reason why they're doing it that way though is because as soon as we all got moved over to Slack, everybody created their own channels. And then there was like no control over
Yeah.
groups of channels of anything. It just became like this huge hot mess. And then EXP had to go in and like try to clean it up.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the things all have to be, um, what's the word I'm looking for? They have to be in control
Uniform.
of it, right? Like they have to,
Are they moderating? Did they moderate
yes.
stuff in workplace though?
Mhm.
Like that's I mean the big groups, of course they did, but like there were also like you could create a group for anything.
Yeah,
And
you're right.
that's my thing. Like I don't want to do anything weird in this group. I just want to create one so that the people that I'm connected to, I can kind of build that out. So I have an easy way to share stuff with people I care about or
Mhm.
whatever. So just
I
my, minor complaint because it's really good.
Yeah, I
But
wager that that would be easier to do in the future. I think, like Del Rey said, I think because of the influx of
yeah.
folks trying to come in, like people are trying to capitalize on, like, ooh, let me create a group or whatever, But
Mhm.
I do think it makes sense both of you guys make sense. Like, it makes sense to control it for a little bit while everybody's just sort of getting used to it and stuff. But yeah, I mean, in workplace, I was in a bunch of like little groups with my organization and stuff
Yeah.
like that, and it was fantastic. And I think that's what everybody misses about it, And so I think I'm willing to bet in the back end they're all like, trying to figure out like what broke when everybody started like getting all up in there. So but it's really exciting. And that was a big like when if you were there like live at eXpCon, this was like a hot topic. Like everybody's like, the hug, yay! Like everybody was really, really excited about like Slack going away eventually. So, and you can tell they're not quite ready. Like everybody, all like leadership is still in Slack. So you can tell they're not quite ready to like bump everything over. And I bet it's because stuff is broken inside and they're trying to fix it. So, but huge endeavor by Glenn for real. Okay. Hey, oh, Jason, what's up?
Yeah. So I think the biggest thing that I missed from workplace was the ability to find the information for people, especially corporate, like who's in charge of what, right? And you were able to see the organizational structure, right? And trying to figure out like who do I talk to at the company? And there really, once workplace went away, there really wasn't a good source for that. So I'm hoping that the hub that happens. Felix Bravo, who's the head of international, he put the hub into one of our big WhatsApp groups that was formed for our Barcelona event to test it the day before. So I think that was really smart. He also put in there live. So you'll probably get to that, but keep going, Michelle.
Nice. Well, thank you. All right. So news, but not like humongous news. Like they're working with Canva to make sure that we can get our own like brand kits within the Canva enterprise. So if you have like if you're using the Canva within EXP, now they're going to make it so you can put your own private brand kits in there. So when you design like your own stuff, it's easy to just plug and play like with your own branding in there. So that's wildly helpful. So that happened. Let's see. Ooh, if you guys have not heard about this, they released an 8-week program with these AI coaches. The first one was last week. This next one is today, actually, I think in an hour and a half or a couple hours or something. But it's a 8-week series and they cover all kinds of different topics. I believe the one today is on using AI with social media. So if you guys have not, it's completely free or, included, right? So if you guys have not heard about that, navigate over to expuniversity.com's website and get in there and get registered. It's 1 hour a week for 8 weeks, free 99. Get in there and learn some stuff. I was on the last one and I thought it was pretty neat. So they don't go into like major details, but they tell you like, here's some tools, you can use stuff for this, like just to kind of get your brain churning and stuff and kind of point you in the directions and where you can find some resources and stuff like that. Maybe that was just the first call. I don't know. But I'm really looking forward to the one today's, particularly with social media. So yeah, that happened. And then, of course, if you guys haven't heard, these are going to be all the EXP cons around the world. So next one up is Cape Town in February. Then Paris was just announced. Woo, that's exciting. Paris was just announced, when we were all at eXpCon. Oh, wait, sorry, I went backwards. Vancouver is in April before Paris. And then Salt Lake is going to be the next location for the stateside one. So that's pretty cool. It'll be a change of scenery from the warmth of Miami, warmth and beaches, over to, chilly weather and mountains. But it'll be really cool for at least me as a Floridian to get to the mountains. And they also have a global access pass. So if you wanted to go to all four, you'd save 20% on it. So, yeah, pretty neat. They expanded the referral platform, so Jason will be happy about this. So it's global now, whereas before, I wasn't aware because I don't send a lot of global referrals, but I wasn't aware that it wasn't 100% global before, and it is global now. What's up? What's up, Jason? Share, please. I know you know about this.
Yeah, so I moderated the panel on global transactions at eXpCon. And so I have a recording of that session that will be up in my YouTube channel this next week.
Oh, please.
I had many people. What's that, Michelle?
Please share that in the group. That's really cool.
Oh, of course I will. I had many people come up to me that I knew.
She whispered, you were in here yesterday.
And many people who I didn't know, and they said that it was the best session that they had attended at the whole conference because of how much they learned about the global referral platform and how international transactions and referrals work at EXP. So we had the VP of International Transactions. It was on the panel, and I had Carly. And as we were prepping for the panel, I said, demystify this for everybody, right? So she did a really good job of that. So as soon as we have that up on the YouTube channel, I'll send it over to you guys.
Sweet. Thank you.
Michelle?
Oh, hey. What's up?
Michelle, I actually did my first global transaction in Italy. So that was awesome. And I actually met with the global team as well over like some pain points and some snags and like got some pretty helpful information. So pretty cool.
Oh, I love that. Yeah. If you guys aren't aware, so you can like prior to this announcement, you were able to go on the referral platform, search for an agent wherever, send them a
Mhm.
referral straight through there, easy peasy, like so easy. You can see their profiles and kind of all, depends on how much information they put for themselves. But now it's made global. And Jason, the reason earlier, if you guys were here, I asked Jason, I'll write you back, and Jason's going to volunteer to teach us just about like sending referrals back and forth from I guess stateside to globally, right? Like just kind of like Aisha was talking about all those snags and things that come up. Like, how does this even work, right? Like most of us don't even consider, right? Like, especially in the military, we have our clients PCSing back and forth, right? From overseas. Like we don't even consider that there's referral opportunities there. So I think that in combination with this platform is going to be a really cool thing. So looking forward to that.
Hey,
Yay.
Jason, I'll be in touch.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I got big referrals to pay you guys, so we'll save that for another call.
Perfect. But if you guys weren't there, Veronica Figueroa and Bobby Davidowitz announced culture centers on stage right before I went on. Oh my God. Anyway, so they announced the culture centers, and then so these are not like EXP offices from corporate, right? Like what you would think, but they are going to be agent owned and agent centric centers. So they're going to be how it says here, like hybrid spaces between the digital world and then the real world. So Veronica Figueroa here in Orlando, where I am, and Bobby bought a big building, a whole entire building. So I'm really eager to see what they do with it. I think at the beginning of the year is when they're going to finally open that up and just kind of I don't know what they're gonna do, but I'm really excited. I'm really excited to see it. Does anybody know any more news about that? Because I was freaking out backstage, so I didn't actually hear what they said.
I
No.
had a call with Rebecca Soto like last week, so
Oh, nice.
we're co-sponsoring an agent to Rebecca, so that was part of that conversation about Gil Ramos and Veronica and Rebecca and everybody coming together there in Orlando. So
Oh, I love it.
it's exciting. I'm really excited to see that. My friend Jeff Cohen in Omaha, he has a 10,000 square foot culture center that he opened up this summer. So there's a lot of opportunity. Excited about it.
Nice. I love it. Okay. And then global expansion. So it was announced that we are now in Romania, in the Netherlands, and in Luxembourg. So that's cool. So we just keep expanding. If you guys didn't know, just before eXpCon, I believe they announced Korea, Japan, somebody else? Am I missing one?
So in Barcelona, they officially announced Korea and Japan.
Yeah.
Right, Egypt was announced too, but that's been delayed. So
Okay.
the country leaders of Japan, which it's only Tokyo right now, so it's like
Okay.
Dubai, so it's only the city because there's some regulatory things why. But Korea is open, so the Republic of Korea, not North Korea, right?
Okay.
So
Yeah, right.
Ken Tanaka is the country leader. Yeah, yeah. So Ken Tanaka is the country leader of Japan, and Thomas Kim is the country leader of Korea. So they are ready to receive referrals for all of our military personnel. So
I
I've
love
prepped
it.
them. They are ready to go. And I
Well,
will be going to Bucharest at on the 21st. I'll be in Amsterdam on the 27th for the Netherlands launch, and I'll be in Luxembourg on December 2nd for the launch there too.
you are
So,
going all over the place,
Hey,
Jason. I
hey,
love it.
Jason, I have a question for you.
sure, Ben.
How many credit card points or airline miles do you have? What's your Amex Platinum
Right?
Well,
balance?
well, here's a tip for you guys. Okay, so I work with my upline to fund my entire group and business. So 25 years in MLM, we built organizations. Our biggest is 300,000 in Shackley Corporation. So when we started, this is my fifth eXpCon. So January 2021, we started our Legends International team, and so I've used a lot of points and stuff. But just growing in Europe, man, it's so cheap
Yeah, that's
to
cool.
travel here,
Mhm.
right? And Luxembourg is less than 2 hours from Ramstein, from Kaiserslautern, right? Amsterdam's 5 hours by car, and then Romania is being paid for by my upline. So I've got a big brokerage that's joining in Romania. So he's just paying for
Wild.
that trip to go down there. So that's what you got to do. Got to leverage the big bucks up above to pay for your growth, man.
I'm
And
in.
use
I'm in.
co-sponsoring to drive that.
I'm gonna friend request you if we're not already friends. I think we're kindred souls.
Yeah. Hey, I've onboarded agents in 16 countries. So we have the largest international team at the company by country count. So if you want to know how to do business anywhere around the world at EXP, I can help you do that. Would be happy to pour in and provide value to the group. And in return, would love to pay you lots of referrals to send me to Germany. Okay, I got so much money to give you guys. There's just it's literally piling up over here.
I love it. All right, folks. And then the very, very last thing is that EXP commercial on the commercial side, they have their own website now. Yay for that. Woo! So, yeah, that's all I got for my fancy little slideshow, y'all. So I want to
So
use,
Michelle, can I add? Sorry, I'm like jumping in a lot here,
oh,
but
you're good.
so especially with commercial, so officially EXP commercial was launched in the UK as well. So Rob Jones is the head of that. And so now we actually have an official commercial division in the UK now. So
Very nice.
very exciting. And if you guys don't know, EXP UK is the #1 brokerage in the UK now by sales and listings.
Very cool.
So
Heck yeah.
yeah, so they passed that marker this last year. So Mildenhall and Lakenheath, I've already got the guys in London going. I'm like, come on, we need to get up there. We got some referrals to send there. So let's go.
I love it. All right. So yeah, I want to turn over the basically the rest of the time for anyone who wants to share anything amazing that they learned while they were at eXpCon at any session in particular, just anything that that they took away and just started to implement in their business, any ahas, whatever. So it's open floor. Let's have a really awesome discussion. And yeah, just go for it. Who wants to go first? There's a bunch of y'all in here, so somebody should do it. Mm, mm, mm.
I
Somebody,
have my notes up if nobody else wants to go first.
yeah, go for it. You break that ice for us.
Yeah, so I find that going to these conferences can either be a waste of time or super valuable. The way you determine is by planning in advance what your agenda is, like what's your point of going. So, coming from another brokerage, I came from Compass. It was my first EXP event. And I'll be here a year next month, but Compass is known for having these big, nice, elaborate offices, and there's a lot of like in-person stuff. And I'll be honest, I kind of miss that in some ways. So I'm kind of learning how to um, be more remote, but also interact with people. So my plan was to one, go find people that I would feel comfortable reaching out to, chatting, just like I would, locally, a colleague locally. So I did that. Being a military veteran, the MilNet meetup was perfect for that. I've actually done a lot of military referrals, so that was the natural choice. So that was objective one, was to find people to talk to, make friends, so to speak. So nice to meet all of you. Um, Two, um,
Can I
attraction.
interject there real quick, Ben?
Yeah.
Since we put those on, I would love to hear your feedback because we are meeting tomorrow, right, Michelle?
Yes.
Tomorrow. We
Mhm.
are meeting tomorrow for our first time like connecting since eXpCon.
Oh, no, I'm lying. It's next week, but yes, we are meeting.
Locally or online?
Well, she means we as a board
Online.
of directors is meeting
Oh, okay.
kind of like recap like what all like happened and stuff.
Yeah, it was super productive. Compass has surprisingly a pretty good military network, and that was one of the things that I was missing. Like I worked with 3 Navy SEALs last year as a result of that group. So for some reason I'm in with the Navy SEAL community. But I know this is probably the strongest referral affinity group you can probably have because one, our clients move way more than normal people. Two, um, our clients' purchases are subsidized by the government most of the time. So like three, and then the military community, we naturally like gravitate towards each other. If you're a vet, we gravitate towards each other due to like shared misery. of being in the military, and then two, or if you are a family member or whatever, then you have some elements of that, but you understand the lifestyle. So being able to collaborate, it's like a built-in friend group. Coming from that lifestyle, we are predisposed to connecting with people very quickly, and that's why I appreciate that meetup. It was sort of like you know, a referral group in a box versus having to go. It's just much easier when you have something that you both care about, or you both
Yep.
have experience with. So that was super important. That was on the top of my priority list, was to meet people from this group.
Can I check? I
So the
wanted to
only
talk
thing I
about
would,
something you mentioned at the beginning when you said like it could be really overwhelming. So it's either a really great experience or like a total waste of time. And like you said, you have to
Yeah.
focus on like you have to decide what you're going to focus on because a lot of folks will go to things like that and like go to a gajillion different things and just spread themselves super thin and then try to be actionable when they get home and it doesn't work. And then it becomes then it starts to feel like it was a waste of time or you start to get stressed and whatnot. And somebody told me that years ago, and I was like, dang, that's so true. So I always go to these
Yeah.
things and make a point to just like find something to focus on. And then if I'm bringing any action items home, I really like try to decide like what is the most important thing that I need to be doing right now that's gonna help me achieve my objective. Not like, oh, I'm gonna create three different systems right now, 2 weeks after I got back.
Yeah.
Like, no, it's not gonna work. It's no bueno, right? So I love that you said that because it is 1000% true. So yes.
Well, yeah, and so, I was recently diagnosed with anxiety, and what I found is the way that manifests itself with me is I have a, I feel like I'm not quite an introvert, but I have a very short social battery. So I have to maximize my interactions, and I have to maximize my time in these events. So like I don't know how many breakouts there were. I'm sure they were all great. But the reality is that I can handle a keynote or whatever in the morning, the main session and maybe one breakout a day. And anything more than that, everything gets lost in the sauce. Um, and I can handle meeting a certain number of people per day and trying to meet everyone. It's just every interaction you have when your goal is not purposeful, who you want to meet, what you want to do, it sort of like waters down your every one of those conversations.
For
Um,
sure.
I'm definitely going, moving forward in real estate, where I'm at now, I don't need to sell a million homes a year. In the Tampa market, if you sell a dozen homes a year, you're probably in the top 10% of income in the Tampa Bay area. If you sell 24, which has been my goal, I mean, you might as well make $1 million a year. That's over with eXp. That's over $300,000 in annual income at just 24 homes a year. Like, can you think of any other job where doing something twice a month can generate a really good income? So I I'm definitely more in the quality over quantity stage of my life. I was purposeful in my notes. I made sure that I had a note-taking system where anything I needed to take action on was highlighted in yellow. Any sort of like major ahas were highlighted in, I don't know, salmon, pink, whatever you would call that. Um, so that when I'm looking at my notes later on, and I intentionally don't look at them for about 2 weeks. So I'm just now at the point where I want to look at them for a couple reasons, but just being purposeful is will make these things so much more valuable.
I love those tips. I
I
love
agree.
that so much. Yeah. Does anybody have anything to add on just general learning tips on these big old conventions?
I'm exactly like you, Ben. And my first eXpCon, I totally did all the things that you shouldn't do. I totally burnt myself out. I just went from like one thing to one thing to one thing to one thing. And after a couple of years, I've really learned, and Sherry knows this about me, like I am very mindful of my own recharge. So
Mhm.
where I could have went and networked or something, I found myself at the beach reading for 2 hours because I needed that recharge. At the same time, I'm very intentional as well that it doesn't always have to be a large meetup, right? So like one of my goals when I go is I have all of the people that I'm comfortable with Then we go to the major networking and I'm meeting strangers, but also I'm very mindful at least once while I'm there, if not twice. I will plan a lunch or a dinner with an agent that I don't know at all. And then it feels less pressure and less energy on me because now it's just a one-on-one thing where it's still networking, but it's less draining on my social battery than it is like jumping from this person and having a conversation here and jumping from this person. It's just more quiet and personal that way, and it doesn't feel as grueling and draining as the other things do. I'm not like Michelle. Michelle stays on all
Yeah.
day
Girl,
and
no,
she loves
I
it.
sure don't.
She's solar powered.
Powered by the Florida sun. No,
Yeah.
seriously, it's a lot. It's a lot. Like this was my first eXpCon, like more so like working versus like attending. And it was a lot. But I've been to in my former company, I went to all of their conventions as well, which are like 4 times as big as this one. And that's even worse. Like it's really insane. Um, but yeah, it is really about being intentional. And a lot of those times I would go alone. I've gone to some of these conventions completely alone. And what's cool is that when you're alone and you gotta like go eat some food or you just stand in there, like people will talk to you because you're alone. So even if you don't want to talk to anyone, someone's gonna talk to you because maybe they're alone or maybe they're just maybe they're ready to talk and maybe you're not. And that's good because like they're like forcing you to have a conversation, right? So like I went to the Win Summit at this eXpCon all by myself and I sat there and the lady next to me just decided to start talking to me. And not that I didn't want to talk to her, but I was just, I wasn't like ready yet. It was like the first day I was just like, I'm just gonna watch this, and then but she just started talking to me and we had a great connection and we've actually connected like 3 times since then. So she's really cool people. Like we've, started following each other on socials. And so you never really know like who you're gonna just happen to be sitting next to. So yeah, like the connections are very, very, very powerful and just focusing, like deciding to attend things or breakouts, events or breakouts that are going to specifically work for your business and your time in your career is everything. Because if you spread yourself too thin, it's just not going to work. It's not. All right. Did anybody like learn anything that just like absolutely blew their minds at any like breakouts or a general session or anything like that? Just something that really stuck with them?
Michelle, before we go to that, someone like
Yeah.
myself who have never been to eXpCon,
hmm
when you're selecting the breakout session, is that something that you select when you're purchasing a ticket or you make that decision once you get there?
That's a great question. So, whenever you decide to book your ticket, you're booking your ticket to the whole event. So you can go to anything. So you'll go to the general session if you want. I mean, you could go to anything if you want to. So the general sessions are basically the big giant room, and everybody goes to that, and it's very general, right? And then there's breakouts that are more specific. And then so as I got closer to the event, they released an app. You could also see it online, but they also released an app that had a list of all of the breakout sessions that were available, who was teaching them the topic and everything like that, with the time and where they were being held. And then so you can look through and just be like, "Oh, I like it. I like it. I like it," like on the app. And then it would pop up on a little agenda for you. So then you just go from place to place and just go learning all the things from, do as much or as little as you want. But yeah, it's all included. It's all 100% included. And there's also aside from the general session and breakout sessions, there's also parties and networking events and things like that. So it's really like and groups like ours, for example, right? The military network, we had our own offsite events as well. So there's a lot to do, which is why the point of being really on purpose with what you want to achieve when you go to one of these things is crucial because there's just no way. Like, for example, I'm involved with EXP Latino a little bit too, and there was several completely 100% Spanish sessions, but there's no way. Like, I could not, like this EXP con is 100% for EXP military for me. So we were all in on that and all of those events because that's what I was focusing on, right? So like there was just no way like I could do all the other things, but there are so many things that if your social battery allows you to and your time allows, like woof, woof, you can be doing things from sun up to sundown and beyond. They had a yacht party, you guys. Did anybody go to the yacht party? I didn't go. but it was like a fancy on a yacht party or whatever. I don't know. It looked pretty cool. I had a little bit of FOMO about that. But
No,
yeah,
but
I hope
even
that
when you're
answered your question.
socializing, you're still out all night.
Yeah.
Like you really are still out all night.
So, but yeah, so I hope that answered your question. Does anybody, like I said, did anybody learn anything or hear anything that just absolutely blew their mind that they want to share with the group? Like an aha?
I think so. If I haven't exceeded my number of words
No, no,
allotment.
I love it. Do
Um,
it.
I have Brett Bittingham in my notes here.
Yeah.
Speaking in terms of investors. So I've actually thought about this, but it was cool to hear somebody like there's no original ideas, just so you know. But it was cool to hear somebody on stage who knows what they're doing more than I do say it out loud. So like he was talking about investments, but in general, um, we're basically working for tips. We
Love
get paid
that.
the same way servers do, a percentage of the check, essentially. So, especially in terms of investment properties, whether you work with investors or not, I mean, every home that you sell, working with buyers or a listing, is an investment property. If it's a rental, if it's somebody's a traditional property and somebody's buying it to rent out, well, it's an investment. If you are um, working with renters, then you're helping people live in somebody else's investment. If you're buying your home, well, that is the largest source of wealth in the United States is home equity. So every property, regardless of whether we think about it like that or not, is an investment property. So, but specifically when you're working with investors, what he said was to stop working with tips. You're already doing all the work. You're evaluating the property as an investment opportunity. You are doing all the paperwork. You're negotiating. You're doing all that stuff, and it's great if you want to help investors. I'm not saying you shouldn't do that, but if you're already doing all the work, that means you can systematize it and you can um, create a workflow so that you're constantly evaluating investment opportunities and start putting away a little bit of each closing for down payment money and studying these loan programs like DSCR loans and things like that so that you're ready to buy something when the opportunity presents itself. I mean, in the Tampa market, it's hard for me and probably for a lot of you because the purchase prices are higher. So, okay, what did I need to learn? I needed to learn how to buy things out of state, how to find good agents to look for stuff for me. I'm down to one property right now. I got rid of some, but I own a property in Georgia. I've bought a property in Kansas because I saw it on TikTok. I,
That's
you
awesome.
know, yeah, I mean, it was pretty cool. The return was pretty good. I just sold it because I didn't like the tenant. But you live and you live, you learn. I probably wouldn't do that again, but I was young, I was
Oh,
impulsive. Um, you have to be impulsive to buy a house you see on TikTok. But my point is, seeking out those opportunities, especially out of state, puts you in the world of other real estate agents, both inside and outside of eXp. My agent in Columbus, Georgia, who's helped me buy 3 homes there, um, is going to come over to eXp. She doesn't know it yet, but she's going to come over at some point. Um, because I'm in her world now. And I'm at some point she's gonna have a bad day. She's at KW where I used to be. Good company, but we all have frustrations. So one day she's gonna get frustrated with Gary Keller and want to talk to me. So my point is I loved what he said about not working for tips. You're already doing the work. You might as well own the restaurant.
Yeah.
And
so can I add to that, Ben? Can I
yeah,
add to that?
Yeah. Do it.
So how about instead of just investing in another state, how about investing in another country where the military housing allowance
yeah,
is your return on investment, where we're literally 2,500 to 3,000 euro per month. The US government is paying the housing allowance of
wow,
military connected. Okay. And so we can get investors in, like here in Germany, 3 properties without it being considered a business, no capital gains tax if it's sold after 10 years. We can get them in with 20% down for investors, right? And this money is being paid by Uncle Sam, you guys. This is in Germany. This is in Italy. This is in Japan, Korea, you name it, right?
Yeah.
I don't
So
know if this is too specific, but maybe we can get together after this. But so we would use DSCR loans here. What kind of financing is available for those there?
So I have like for Germany, we have several German banks that will do this because it's all based upon the public um, housing allowance based upon rank, right? Either your rank or your GS rank, right?
Okay.
And so they all know this, right? So my mortgage broker can literally do up to 127% financing and roll all the closing in, right? So if we have somebody who's a civilian, they can literally come in here and in 10 years, the US government has paid for their house. I
Oh,
have
that's great.
my mentor's client. She's going to retire as a DoD teacher and in 5 years move back to Tampa, and she will net 250,000 euro then. And the U.S. government paid through her housing allowance for that house, right? And so these are all the opportunities that exist, not just in Germany, but in every OCONUS country that the U.S. military is in. And Ben, Compass does not have international operations like we do, right? So we are one seamless country or one seamless company worldwide, right?
yeah.
So super excited to help you guys understand this more. 21 years we've lived as part of the military family because my wife works for DoD, right?
Yeah.
And I've been just at the tip of the spear on growing eXp internationally. So these two things collide for me, and I'm really passionate about serving my military family members.
I sent you a message in Facebook. Let's get together. I have a friend of mine who's still at Compass, former Navy captain, that would love to hear all about this too.
I love it, guys.
Oh, brother, let's go.
Collaboration.
Let's go. Co-sponsor, baby. Let's go.
I love it, guys.
Hey, I'll add one thing too about the international deal. So my last deployment was to Ramstein, and so
That's where
since
I
I
live,
was
brother.
part of
Let's
that
go.
406 deal, right? They didn't put us up in housing, and so I was literally paying the max amount of per diem for rent per day. So if you do the math, I think it was
500 a
200.
day.
I was getting 209, I think is what I was getting. So it was like 62, because of course all the landlords charge the max amount. So I was paying like 62 or $6,400 a month in rent. So I think the dude that owned my property, he was a retired Army Master Sergeant that had like, I don't know, 70 properties or something like that. So do the math on that one. It's crazy over there.
So as a civilian, Justin, we were getting, as a family of four, our TLA, temporary lodging assistance, 500 a day. Okay. And the group that we were with, they have 28 houses. So I did the math. I was like, this is crazy gangster money, right? And as the furlough was coming up, because we just moved into our long-term quarters here, right? They were like, hey, since your wife has been furloughed, if you guys just got to wait or whatever, no problem. Because they're like, we just want the government's money. We don't want your money, right? We want the government's money. And so that's a whole nother business. And I have a relationship with them now, guys. So I'm going to convert them to EXP. So we will get paid a referral on that TLA money. Okay. Literally, we were paying them $500 a day. Okay. And think about that referral money, right? So I'm setting it up so we'll get referral money from the TLA all the way through to the long-term rental, or if they purchase a property or build. And if they build, I'll pay you 15,000 euro on one referral. So
nice. Well, holy crap, that's a lot of information, but I love what Ben has started with, just even talking about investment, guys. So that's Brandon. He's on Instagram, Mailbox Money B, and his thing is investment, all investments. And so what he was basically trying to say is like, we're out here selling property for, X%, right? Which is what he meant by selling property for tips. He's like, but somebody comes to you and says, I want to buy my first investment property. What are you going to do? This is a great investment because you can rent it for this or you can do that. Like, you're going to tell them all that you're going to do all the work anyway. So why are we, what is our exit strategy as agents? Why are we all just sitting here, like just working for tips for literally ever? He's like, you can take that same knowledge that you just used to help someone else do it. And instead of working for the tip, you can, like be the owner of the restaurant. You can get paid the full like profit when the deal is done. You already have the knowledge. You're already doing the work. So why don't more agents just step out of that out of that and into that investment world to build themselves a system to retire, right? Because guys, we don't unless we build it for ourselves, we don't have some cool pension or whatever coming, right? Like even rev share, we have to build it for ourselves. So this is just like another like avenue of being able to build something for ourselves through the world of investing. And I was there when he said that. I was like, oh, that's so cool, dude. Like, so yeah, thank you for reminding me that he said that because that was pretty amazing. Um, I want to share that same no, not the same day, the following day. Think his I'm gonna butcher his name. Elias had a soup. Elias. Oh my God, hold on. I don't want to butcher his name on a recording. Hold on. Yes, Elias. Elias came on, and he I met him backstage, super humble dude. Like he was like just you could tell he was a little nervous, right? He was pacing around or whatever, like getting ready to speak. And I stopped him and I was like, "Are you ready? Like, are you?" Because I'm nervous, right? So I'm like, "Are you ready? Like, are you cool or whatever?" He's like, "Yeah, no." He's like, "I got it all right here." He's like, "I got it all in my heart." And he's like, "I just have a few keywords on the teleprompter, but it's all right here." And I'm like, damn, yo, good for you because like I gotta read the whole thing, like, because I'll like freeze up, right? But dude went up there. I don't know who saw him, if you guys know what I'm talking about, but he was like, his energy was through the roof. And then the thing that stuck to me at the end was when he was saying, I am. And he had the whole audience saying, I am, I am. And I was just like, I don't know. I don't even know how to describe it. I was just hearing it and I had I was just watching him on the little screen and I just had goosebumps and I'm like, dude, like mad inspiring. And he said some stuff about like oh God, and I'm totally gonna butcher it because I was like half there and like half really nervous. Did anybody hear it? Does anybody know what I'm talking about? Were you there like listening? Does anybody know? Nobody was there listening. I know y'all were.
Yeah, I was there.
Yeah, do you remember who I'm talking about? Like he had
Yeah.
everybody up, like on their feet, yo, like like just like I am, and I was like, yes, you're right. I am. Like I am whatever I want to be. Like that's how I understood that, right? I am going to become like right, like whatever it is that I want to become. I'm gonna be that ball and ass agent. I'm gonna be this speaker. I'm gonna be, a millionaire. I'm gonna be an investor. Whatever it is that you want to be. And I don't know. It was just a really really cool moment. Not really anything educational, but it's kind of what you go to some of these events for, right? To get like that like burst of energy and that little pump up and stuff like that. So that's one thing I remember.
Yeah, Michelle, that is like that I am is really and I ain't trying to make this about anything spiritual, but it is really a spiritual concept because I am is a course for those that believe is the great I am. And I am anything that follows that, our words frame our world. And so it's a part of, for me, it's a part of my daily confession where I'm making my confessions of faith or your affirmations or whatever you might want to call it. But your words, you decree a thing and you're going to see that thing established, whatever that may be, because words set the tone for our day. It framed our world. So when we're saying things, instead of saying like I am tired, I am full of energy. And even I heard you say when you said I'm going to be a millionaire, we don't say we're going to be a
You're
millionaire.
right. You're right.
I am a millionaire,
Hmm.
billionaire, trillionaire. You know what I'm saying? So we're actually setting precedents because our words are going to go, the words that we speak out of our mouth, we tend to, it gets in our heart and we believe it. And when we believe it, we'll be able to manifest that thing and then we'll just put some corresponding action to it. So I love confessions of faith. I love affirmations. It is amazing. And I was there. So I was like, okay. I was almost like, come on, say it. Amen. So super exciting.
No, you just made me think of something as you were talking. Like your words really are powerful. So I'm not a runner by any means at all, but I've done a few 5Ks and I did one, a woman's 5K for breast cancer all by myself. So like I usually run it with my husband and my kids, but this one I had to go alone. And I was like, oh my God, how am I gonna, get myself through this? So like those 40 minutes, because I'm not that fast, by myself, like in my own head. And I kept telling myself, I'm good. I'm having a good time. I'm not in pain. Everything's great. Like that's just like the words telling myself in my head. And honestly, like you get in this. I did that actually did that when I was in labor with my second kid too. I was like, everything's fine, everything's fine. But you just get in your own zone, right? And you just like po speak positively to yourself, speak those positive affirmations to yourself, and they make a huge, huge, huge difference. So yes, yes, thank you so much for sharing your insight on what you heard as well. Guys,
Absolutely. I just want to share this. I remember this when I was stationed in Germany and I was still in the military. And because we're talking about those words either way. So I remember this was my BC days, if you know what that means. But we had went out to a club. Then me and some of the soldiers, single soldier, and we were out and I got back into my barracks and I was super excited, super tired actually. I was extremely exhausted. And so I didn't want to go to work the next day. I went to what we have, you all know, sick call is what we call it. Went there, went in. I was okay, but I was acting out. I was going through the motions of, I need to get quarters. And so I got quarters, right? And so I got back to my room. I was like, I'm just gonna rest it off, but I'm good. I just needed to sleep it off. But the physician was like, you know what? Let's go and bring her back in. I want to get her temperature and all this other stuff. So I had to act it out because I had to go right back before her, right? And do you know that they sent me to the hospital because I was like, yeah, I'm not feeling so well. And I was acting it all out. By the time I got to the hospital, I had a 103-degree fever. Now, I was
dang.
fine before I went in there, but I acted it out. I was like, yeah, man, this and that and the other, because those words are powerful. And my body, everything began to align with what I was speaking. And so we definitely have to speak life and infuse life in every area of our life, even including our businesses. We have to make sure that we're saying what we want to see. We're decreeing it, seeing it established, and we keep it moving forward that direction versus the other direction. Okay, that's
Oh
it.
my God. No, thank you. That is so powerful. And honestly, what I was going to say before that is, hey, we only have a few minutes left. So, I mean, this is just great energy to like get to the wrap up part of this. So, like, thank you so much for sharing that. That is like, oof. Ugh. That's awesome. So yeah, we have just, 5, 6 minutes left. If anybody has any last minute awesome things they want to share, feel free, open forum. We have a nice group of us here. Go for it. Boss Lady Sherry, you got anything for us? I see you there. Oh, you're muted, Sherry. Oh, there you go. Unmute.
There we go.
Yay.
Okay. No, gosh, it's so nice to see so many people on this call, right? I'm just gonna say that because in the past we haven't had as many people show up for some of these Zoom calls and everything. So I'm super excited about the energy and the education that Michelle is lining up. And I hope you guys continue to join and, share it out there with the people you've connected to as well. This is amazing. I love it.
Yes, awesome. What was I going to tell you? So on that topic of education coming up, okay, guys. So please share with everyone else in the community. Please help us get more bodies in here. Of course, everything's going to be recorded, right? Because we all got busy lives, and some of us are in different time zones and everything like that. But our upcoming education, our next one is going to be on the 18th. Actually, that week we have a nice packed week. So we're going to have another, private for our community training, kind of like this one, but it will be about realtor safety. It'll be with our friend Logan. So he's going to come on and do that for us on the 18th. And then on the 19th is going to be our first public quarterly event. So that's going to be a business planning clinic. It's going to be actually an hour and a half, just to make sure we have lots and lots of time to cover everything. So please be on the lookout in the Facebook group for just kind of those registration links so you guys can register yourselves. But yeah, it's going to be pretty amazing. And that's going to be open to the public, that one on that business planning, because we want to, because it's going to say put on by eXp Military Network, because we want to promote the network and kind of, there's a lot of agents out there who have no idea that this network even exists. Okay. And then so we want to make sure as many eyeballs as possible see our community and see the value that we add and come on over. And if they don't want to join our community, that's fine, but they can support they can support us. You know what I'm saying? Or hey, I just found out this community existed. Yes, sign me up. I want to join. The group's name is EXP Military Network. Yeah. And we're also on Instagram. So I'm going to put that in the chat. EXP Military Network. Network. Did I spell that right? Yes, I did. Okay. That is on Instagram. And then it's just that, but spelled out normal in the Facebook group. So that's how you can get in touch with us in there. So all the links to the private chat, the private these like ones like these, the ones that happen twice a month, will be posted in the Facebook group. We will also keep you guys updated, when we can get ourselves in the hub. I think we're going to talk about that as a board coming up too. So, all developing, all new. But yeah, does anybody have any last minute thoughts or questions, comments, concerns? Nope. Oh, Jason did put in the chat, guys. Remember, go into the global referral platform. I would be lying if I told you exactly how to get in there, but there's in your Okta, when you log in, there's a page that has all the little tiles, like of all the things. One of those is global referral platform, or just a referral platform in general. Like click that and you have a profile in there, and that's where you can search for people and send them referrals back and forth. So make sure you have your photo, because like if someone searches for someone in your area, they're not likely to click on you if you don't have a photo, because it just looks like you don't update your profile or whatever. So go in there and put your profile in, your pictures, all your info, a bio about you, all the things, because you never know when someone's just searching and they want to, send you a referral or whatever. So just a nice reminder to do that. Anybody got anything else? All right,
I don't have
folks.
anything for this, but if you have a second, can you hang out for just a minute, Michelle?
Yes, of
And then
course.
obviously anybody else on the board is welcome to hang out too, but I just needed to chat with you for a second.
Yes, of course. But
Awesome.
yeah. All right, y'all. Well, that's it for our first training session / mastermind. Yay. Thank you guys for participating with us. We will figure out how to get this on YouTube for everybody to rewatch later. But yeah, thanks so much for being here, and look out for the next 2 trainings on the 18th and the 19th. So, all right. Bye, everybody.
Awesome. Thanks, Michelle.
No problem.
Thank
See
you,
you.
everybody. Thank you, Michelle.
No problem.